folks, they're running out of ideas. That's what's happening. They're running out of ideas. They're just going to say whatever they got to say at this point. It doesn't matter whether it's true, false, whether it makes sense. It doesn't matter. They're just going to make it up. But before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman, and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. And most importantly, share a Black Conservative Perspective. Let's get it. Take a look at this clip of super liberal Roland Martin discussing the Kenosha protests and Trump's visitation.
Roland, I just want to start with you because I have kind of lost track of the number of tweets the president has sent this morning. The overwhelming majority of them are retweets, some from prominent far-right characters and conspiracy theorists, all having to do with Portland. And, of course, as Shaq just said, he's going to go to Kenosha in the next couple of days. Look at this. This is a list of tweets. There's so many of them that we're not actually showing you the tweets. This is just a one line-by-line list.
Sure.
This is a moment which calls for leadership, Roland. Often we turn to the president for this leadership. We're seeing something else entirely.
Of course, and white America has to answer the question, what are you going to do? Why am I saying that? Because let's just be real honest as possible. 69% or so of the total electorate in November will be white Americans. What Donald Trump is doing, Donald Trump is not trying to appeal to African Americans or Latinos or Asians or Native Americans. He is specifically trying to appeal to white fear. He does not mind what's going on in Portland and Kenosha. In fact, he loves it because it plays right into his strategy of scaring white Americans, which was the exact same thing he did in 2016. The fact that this White House plans to go to Kenosha and he wants to meet with law enforcement, not about what happened with Jacob Blake, not about other types of shootings. No, he is going to go there, pat them on the back. Is he going to ask them, how did you allow a shooter, Kyle Rittenhouse, to literally walk right past you and make it all the way home and no one stopped him and questioned him? How did you say glad to the militia, glad to see you guys out here? These are the questions that people are asking, and we have to be real honest and call it what it is. These are direct appeals to white Americans to vote for him, saying only I control what's going on.
Folks, what about this makes sense? This is what they're saying there, guys. They're saying that Trump's trying to use these protests to scare white America. Really? Have you guys seen the poll numbers ever since Corona and these protests? Trump is getting, or has been getting, eviscerated in the polls. These protests were not helping him. But now, all of a sudden, the polls are starting to shift back in Trump's favor because with these protests getting so outlandish and so violent, and the further away we move from the George Floyd incident and the more ridiculous these protests get, is actually starting to help Trump. Now that the polls are starting to shift back in Trump's favor, the liberal narrative, the Democrat rhetoric is now, well, Trump's using these protests to scare white America. Now I'm trying to, and my question is that how? Because these protests weren't working in his favor a month ago, right? It wasn't showing up in the polls a month ago. Trump's rhetoric on the protests haven't changed all that much, right? He had the same stance on the protests basically since they first started, and it wasn't helping him. So again, explain to me how Trump is using this to scare white Americans. But see, this is the line now. Blame the protest on Trump. Even though these cities, all of them, 90% of them, are run by Democrats. But like I keep saying, they want me to vote for the same people that are currently running these cities. Now, I can tell you right now, here's the truth. The truth is that the Democrats are using these protests to use as cannon fodder against Trump, to try to get ignorant people and people who can't really think for themselves to see this and say it's Trump's fault. What does Donald Trump have to do with police brutality? What does Donald Trump have to do with local police issues? You don't want the government, the federal government, to become a national police force. You don't want that. So I've commended Trump for giving these governors the opportunity to fix this problem. But they're not trying to fix the problem because they know as long as the problem continues to exist, that they can just blame it on Trump. That's why when Trump offers to send in federal forces to help quell the violence in Portland, for example, they refuse. These mayors are refusing it. You know why they're refusing it? Because they don't want the protest to go anywhere. They don't want to crack down on it. They want to keep it going because it helps the rhetoric. Because then people who can't do their own research, who can't think for themselves, are just going to watch CNN and MSNBC and how these people lie to you and try to convince you that for whatever reason, Trump is responsible for these protests. Trump has nothing to do with police brutality at all. Point blank, period. He's the president of the United States. I wouldn't blame police brutality on Obama. I wouldn't, because I'm a fact-based individual. I care about the truth. I don't care about the partisan rhetoric. Yes, I have a right-wing slant, but if I see something where the overwhelming facts agree with the left's opinion, I'll tell you that. I'm not going to hold it back. Obama's not responsible for police brutality. I would never blame him for that. Doesn't have anything to do with the president. That's a local issue. But again, this what these guys are doing is mental gymnastics. But the real truth is that the Democrats are using these protests to actually use against Trump, to keep him from being reelected. That's the truth. They don't want federal agents coming in. They don't want Trump. Trump's like, listen, we can handle this. Send in the federal troops. We can get this under control quick, fast, and hurry. No, we don't want it. They don't want it. And then, Roland Martin, who is a mind reader, apparently, thinks that, Trump's just going to go to Kenosha and he's going to pat the law enforcement officers on the back and he's just going to make things worse. And I guarantee you, he's the same dude that would be criticizing Trump had he not went to Kenosha. Where's Trump at? Where's the presidential leadership at in a time like this? You see, he doesn't care about what's going on. He don't care about what's going on in our country. He don't care about black people. You see, he won't even go visit Kenosha. That's what the narrative was gonna be. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. That's really what it is at this point. There's no fact and reason in the rhetoric of any of these people. All they care about is pushing the Democrat Party. That's all they care about. And you ask a guy like Roland Martin, what is your solution? Besides asking white people to save our communities? They have none. They have no solutions whatsoever. Zero, none, not a zip. But they'll sit and point the finger at everybody else, at Trump, but they're not going to go and look at their own Democrat leaders. Joe Biden, architect of the crime bill. Kamala Harris, California state prosecutor, locked up thousands of nonviolent drug offenders. They're not going to go asking them for questions. They're not going to hold them accountable. And then you wonder why this stuff keeps happening. You wonder why the system's still systemically racist. Because we put all of our voting power behind one party, and this party has convinced us that the Republicans are so racist that no matter what, you can't vote for them, even if it's in your best interest to do so. From a conservative value standpoint, from an economic standpoint, it is in our best interest to vote Republican, but they can't get our support because so many people have been brainwashed and been lied to by this liberal rhetoric. And again, the truth of the matter is, the Democrats are the ones using the scare tactics. The Democrats have scared America and black Americans. And I can tell you, look on Twitter. Look at all these athletes talking about how scared they are of the police. They've made America think that the police is the boogeyman for black people. Again, between 200 and 250 black people are killed per year by the cops. 25 unarmed black people are killed by the cops per year. But yet, the police are the boogeyman to black people. The Democrats have made you believe that to the point where they're protesting and rioting in the streets. That's why there are protests and riots in the streets, is because of the perception that black people can't even walk outside without being killed by the cops. Not only have they pimped police brutality as a scare tactic, they've also used racism. They've made it seem that the president is a white supremacist, that white people are a threat to shoot and kill black people and get away with it. This is a narrative that Democrats are pushing. You trying to tell me that Trump is using scare tactics when the polls have shown that these protests have actually hurt Trump, at least for the past few months? But look at what happens when the polls are now starting to shift because Joe Biden and Kamala are silent on these protests and people are finally starting to wake up to the bullshit. The average American, the one that's actually paying attention to what's going on, doing their own research, coming to their own opinions, not just buying into what somebody's telling you. Now they've done their own research, they realize, wait, Black Lives Matter is bullshit. Police brutality is kind of bullshit. These protests are destroying black communities. These protests are destroying black businesses. Wait, this doesn't seem like something that's supposed to be good for us. Wait, why Kamala and Joe Biden ain't saying shit? That's what the average person is saying now. So they got to switch the narrative. They got to flip it. Say, oh man, they're trying to use the protests to scare white people. That's the new narrative. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. They'll say anything. They'll say anything. They'll do anything. They'll do anything they can to paint Trump as the worst person in the world. No matter what he do, no matter what he say, he is the worst person in the world. Can't visit Kenosha, he gonna make it worse, right? But if he don't visit Kenosha, you know, he will be a shit leader. You guys know how it go. A lot of these people are just pawns. They're just pawns on a Democratic chessboard. That's all it is. But then they accuse black conservatives of being a minstrel show. Again, make it make sense. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about Roland's comments. Do you think that Trump is using these protests to scare white Americans? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.